Evening, everyone. Good afternoon, perhaps good morning, wherever you're tuning in from. This is Chip and Cheen on a unique Thursday night. We usually do Fridays, but I've got something arranged tomorrow, so I won't be available. So that's me and Chip, me and Cheen decided we'll do a show on Thursday. Cheen, we'll go straight into it. Actually, I want to ask how you are. How are you? Few more whites? Is that because of the North London derby or just
Look
aging?
at you,
Aging, yeah,
getting.
aging. उम्र
I'm
होगी है.
getting old. That's yeah, buddy ho gaya. Getting old, man. 42, nearly 42 now, are we, man? Bloody hell. Time flies. You don't know where it goes, man. Supporting Liverpool doesn't help, does it? You go through the roller coaster every year, every single emotion you probably go through, and yeah, man, that's just the way it is. I think I'm gonna need the dye again. Need to get the dye out soon again, Avi, man.
We may need something stronger than that for the top part of the day. Top part of the here, Chine. Just going to Arsenal Spurs. Spurs get into a good lead. Son scores a deflected goal. I thought, you know what, Spurs might hold on to it. I like the I like the look of Lucas Bergwell, who's the new recruit. He's finally finding his feet. Very young. He's made a few mistakes, but looks a top player and will be in the coming years. But Arsenal obviously made it to Trossard, the keeper, the new keeper, Kalinski, I think his name is, of Spurs, should have done better. But they win, Gene. It is 4 points now. We've got a game in hand against Everton away. Is it time to, is it squeaky bum time yet, or are we just calm at the moment?
No, look, Avi, look, a lot of people will say, it's squeaky bum time, and that but these are what title races are all about, aren't they? We're still 4 points clear with the game in hand. We turn up to Brentford on Saturday. If we win that game, I'm confident that we will. We turn up and hopefully we put them to bed. But look, title races, and this is one thing that I don't understand is people expect us to go into a title race like we did in 1920, pull up an 18-point gap between us and number two. That's not what title races are about. We know that, and we've seen that over the years. That generally speaking, they're always tight. So this is what it's all about. This is what it is being a fan of this club. I can understand there's frustrations in terms of we had a few opportunities where we felt as though we could have pulled away further, but we didn't. There's always going to be twists and turns. It's a title race, and you can expect Arsenal will fight till the end. But we're in the driving seat right now. Going by our performance, it's a weird one because I know we drew the game against Nottingham, but I walked out that game thinking, that second half was a decent performance. If we can put in the performances that we are doing, I think we should be okay. But look, it's no squeaky bum time from me as of yet. Yes, of course, we want to win every game, but that Brentford game does become massive because end of the day, it was a 9-point lead. If it comes down to like 2 with the game in hand,
It's a must win, Gene. It's a
then
must win. It's a must win at this stage.
yeah, I can
Because
accept that. I can
because
accept.
we've drawn against Newcastle away when we were winning 3-2.
Yeah,
We drew against Fulham with 10 men. And yes, all this argument, it was a valiant effort, a warrior spirit performance from Liverpool, but that was still a draw. Points dropped. Points dropped against Manchester United massively. That was the killer, I think, for me. That was one
yeah.
of the killer results. 3 results, I think, in the last 7 games, it doesn't bode well. This could be the blip. And in that blip, we've only lost one game, which was against Spurs in the Cup. But we are going through a mini blip. That's why it's crucial on Saturday against a Thomas Frank team who've got the best record at home, I believe. I think even today, I think they've still got the best home record. It's a massive game. It's a must win. Because if you drop points on Saturday, then it gives Arsenal that extra impetus. And if they're looking
It
for a
does.
forward, if they're looking for that striker, it gives them all of a sudden the momentum as well, Gene.
Yeah, look, you got to give. We can't give anybody any room. And to be fair, this season we generally haven't. We've always done pretty well. But it's a must-win game on Saturday if you really want to keep the momentum, especially when you've got Ipswich at home the next week, and when you look at Arsenal's next 2 fixtures, they're not exactly easy. So we could be sat here if we beat Brentford and Ipswich, we could still be sat here in a week, 2 weeks time, Avi, and be 9 points clear. Do you understand? Easily, because they've got difficult fixtures, but that Brentford one is a difficult game. You mentioned Thomas Frank. I know you're a massive fan of him. You've spoke very, very highly of him, especially over the last a year, 18 months. and they always give us a game. They beat us there a couple of years ago. It's not an easy fixture, and we've seen that from the past. And look, you in terms of Thomas Frank, Avi, you rate him really high. They've had a fantastic season again this season under him. How do you see him actually in terms of how he'll plot against us, and what do you think he'll do? Because from what I've seen this season, Avi, he's not a manager that, if you watch the City game, he didn't exactly sit back, did he?
He's a manager that doesn't. I think for the first couple of years in the Premier League as Brentford manager, he had to figure things out. He knew, and this is why he's a very smart manager. His actual ethos on football is very attack minded, but he knows what he's working with. He knows the teams that he's going to come up against in the Premier League. The team that he had in the Championship, they were very entertaining. They were a very entertaining team. As soon as he came into the Premier League, he had to adapt. So he went a little bit high top. They were reaching out to Tony a lot more. They weren't playing off the deck. They were like you're relying on Tony as the focal point with Boemo, and then you got Wisa and players in and around just coming in, front runners from midfield. So he's done a remarkable job. A manager who I think will go to the top in terms of will manage he's got a higher ceiling, if you know what I mean, Gene. He's got a higher ceiling than Brentford. Top manager. This season, we're seeing the fruition of that attacking play. He's playing with like the likes of Boemo, Wisa through the middle, who's been rejuvenated since Tony's left. He's got Kevin Schade, who a player that apparently Jurgen Klopp was a fan of. He's just not a pace merchant. He's got everything. He's combining everything as well. Damsgaard, who's been that linchpin for the Danish Eriksen. The sort of heir to that Christian Eriksen Denmark team. He's playing in between the lines. Sander Berge, Sander Berge is Fulham. There's another guy that I like, Norgard, Christian Norgard, I think it is. Norgard, who's a very good player.
Norgard, yeah.
They've obviously got Seth Vandenberg. They got a very good team, Christoph Ayer, who can do a job here and there. And obviously your Ballon d'Or, Fabio Cavaglia, who's finding it tough at the moment, Gine. He's finding it tough. He'll get you.
You have to always mention him, don't you? Yeah, especially when it's Brentford now. You got to mention it. Look, Avi, you mentioned Brentford. I've watched bits of it against Man City afterwards. You see the highlights.
They should have won the game. They should have won the game.
Man City were lucky to go two ahead. It was not completely against their run of play, but they had their chances. They played well. They contained them pretty well, and then obviously it was an unbelievable pass from De Bruyne for Foden to score. But I think it's going to be a difficult game. Somebody mentions they've not won the last 4 at home, so they might have picked up quite a few draws in the last 3 or 4. But it's going to be a tough ask. But we've been there. We did win. I'm sure when Darwin Nunez got the goal last season. Was it last season or you can't remember when he scored that goal?
We beat them last 3-0, didn't we?
Yeah.
The Darwin Nunez chip. When he was clean through and he decided to do something outrageous, pulls that off, and then we've got then we had McAllister scores, and then I think Gakpo scores the 3.
Yeah.
Gina, I'm kind of confident. I think this blip that I don't know. It's hard to call it a blip because we played tough teams. Newcastle away was a tough team. Manchester United form goes out the window, and they're losing today. I'm just hearing 1-0 right now.
Yeah, it looks like
a minute they've scored. So keep an eye out on that one while we're on the show. We've had tough games, but we've got to start winning again because that 7-10 point cushion is vital. I do not want to go. I do not want to go into the season with last 5 games of the season, last 6 games of the season, because I've seen our run on the last 6. I do not want to have. I want to kind of sew up I want the championship. I want the league to be sewn up by then. That means I do want a 7-point lead. I want to maintain a 7 to 10 point lead because you got to remember Arsenal coming to Anfield.
Yeah.
And at that point, they might have nothing to lose. So it might be the shackles are off. Arteta might decide that, listen, 7 points from here, go for it. And if they get that win at Anfield, which will be very hard, we know that. And I'm sure Arteta will still be conservative. But if they feel that 7-8 points, we'll just go for it. And they get that victory, then 4 points with 4 to play, for example, or 3 to play, whatever the situation is, or whenever we play Arsenal, I think it's the last weekend, or 2 games to play, it becomes very, very nervy. And we don't want that. And we know that Liverpool Football Club, when it's been a title race amongst Man City or even Arsenal last season, we have that word that people use, bottle it, and that's fine. People can say it. We have bottled it. I don't want that to come fruition, Gene. I want us to have a big, big lead. The 2019-2020 season, I want it to be like that. I just want to obliterate the competition. I want one hand on that cup. And Saturday is Saturday. We work our way off on Saturday against Thomas Frank's Brentford. It will be a tough game. It is a 3 p.m. Kickoff. Win that, and then the onus is on Arsenal against Villa, because that 5:30 kickoff at Emirates. We know Emery did a job on them last season. I'm hoping that he does a job again.
Yeah. Yeah, because look, Villa's a difficult game, regardless of who he plays. We saw that against. We saw Spurs play against them yesterday. They caused him a few problems. It was. I know it ended 2-1. Arsenal probably should have scored a few more, if I'm honest. They did miss a lot of chances. And you know, to look and I sometimes look back and think, how the hell did we get beat by this Spurs side at their stadium? But Villa is going to be a tough game for Arsenal. Make no mistake. We just have to go to Brentford first, and that's going to be a tough game. We just have to make sure we get the points. You know, I mentioned the performances. I'm okay with. You know, the crazy thing is, you know, if we were playing shite, like I know the United game we weren't great. Yeah, there's too many people that had off days that day. And we just, you know, they had the better. They executed their plan a lot better, and they got the point. We're not looking at the few points where we've dropped points. Avi, Fulham, unbelievable performance with 10 men to come back. Even against Forest, we controlled and we should have won that game with the amount of chances we missed. So if you actually look at the games, we haven't really been outplayed. You know, Newcastle, they scored a last-minute winner. You know, we were unbelievable that second half to score the goals that we scored.
But
And
with slow starters, Fulham, Newcastle, and you just mentioned Nottingham Forest. First half, we were nowhere to be seen in those games.
And this is a problem. That's it was one thing that I thought Slot had sorted out, because we know over the last 18 months, especially in the club tenure, that we always conceded first, man. Always sort of conceded, and even the Slot, Avi, there's times where you can turn it. You can say that we turn up in the second half where we put the other teams to bed and put the other teams to the sword. You cannot give any impetus to the opposition, especially when you're in a title race, because you're just putting a load of pressure on yourselves for no reason. We have to be able to get out the box a lot quicker. We have to be able to bring the intensity from the first minute and show that we mean business from minute one. You can't be, you mentioned the word lackadaisical yesterday after the on yesterday's show, and at that time I sort of disagreed with you. But if you look at that first half performance, you have to be on it from the first minute and go for it. And look, it's still, it's 2021 games in. There's still a long way to go, but we just have to make sure in the next few games where we've got the slightly easier game compared to Arsenal, we have to turn up.
Yeah, I agree. There's a comment on from Arj here. We just need to start winning games now. Defensively, we seem to have some lapses in concentration. Konate has cost us a lot of goals, not fully fit. I don't want to mention about Konate. Correct me if I'm wrong. If Konate has cost us a few goals, please bring up some facts and stats that will back you up, Arj there. But I do want to talk about defensively, because we brought in Johnny Heitinga, who's known to be a very good defensive coach. He's Slot's right hand man, but all his good work at the beginning of the season, Gene, when we had conceded only like 3 goals in like 9 games, we're seeing those lapses now. We're conceding very early now. We're conceding leaky goals. It's not teams are outplaying us. It's on our own fault that we're conceding the goals. It's by default from our side that we're losing the concentration, not that we're getting outplayed and people are, the opposition have got better possession of the ball and they're creating chances after chances after chances. It's been our own downfall that we're conceding first. What do you think that's down to? Is it now just down to because there is the nitty-gritty stuff? Now the extra, because we want to be ultra focused and ultra concentrated on games, that we're just the mistakes are just seeping through, similar to last season under Klopp. That was throughout the season. This has all of a sudden happened, yes, with the injuries. But what is the pinpoint, Gene? Is it because we haven't had a defined 6? Is it because Gravenberch now is a little bit leggy and tired, or the whole team as a whole just look leggy and they don't look as focused as they were earlier on in the season?
Look, it's a number of things, isn't it? You look, for first and foremost, you look at the injury to Konate, right? That was a massive miss to us. And then he's come back over the last few games. He hasn't been fully fit. He's even mentioned it, Avi, that I am not fully fit, but the team needs me. I'm going to play. And even if it's 60, 70, we saw against Man United, after the 65th minute, Avi, he couldn't run. Let's face it. You saw the way he tracked back on one occasion. He was gassed, but we stuck with him. So if you're sticking with a player like that and you don't trust the players that are on the bench to come in and do a job, then what you have to start questioning if we've got the squad in terms of the numbers that the slot wants. Number one, we don't have the Gomez, of course, is injured as well, which has been obviously that hurt us quite a lot as well. But then, Avi, you've got to look at performances. You look on the left-hand side, we've got Robertson. Let's not beat around the bush here, Avi. 18 to 2 years now that, we've known that Robbo's on the decline. So when Robbo's been on the decline, you look at, okay, why is he on the decline? How is he on the decline? Should we have gone into the market? And yes, he's on the decline because he's played absolutely every single minute over the last 6 years, 7, 8 years, and given every single atom or every single ounce to this football club, and he's given us everything, and he's absolutely knackered. He's probably done a lot more mileage than everybody else, and it comes to a time where you think, okay, maybe it's time to take Robbo out, maybe give him a bit of help, but we didn't go
It's
into
the
the
constant
transfer
mistakes,
market.
Lachine. It's the and I don't want to label Robertson as anything, but like a lot of the goals this season that we've conceded has come on that side. The Real Madrid penalty, the Fulham mistake. A lot of that side is coming. The Arsenal equaliser, not equaliser, the
Southampton
first
mistake.
goal. Yeah, there's too many mistakes happening on that side. And surely Arne Slot, who seems like a footballing man, would have seen Robertson and that left-hand side, especially last season, and thought, you know what, in the summer, let me get a left back in. There were left backs available in the summer. No, there were left backs available in the summer, Gene. We haven't got a left back. We were gun-ho on Zubimendi. We got Chiesa over the line. Mamadishvili is coming next season. Why has it taken us still this long to recognize that, yeah, now we need left back? Because it's panic stations right now. On that position alone, left back, it's a panic button situation now. Because we can't rely on Tsimikas, even though he does an able job. But I don't need able bodies. I don't need able jobs. I need fantastic players that can come on that left-hand side and slot in. People talk about Jarrell Hayton. That's fine. Fantastic young talent. But at 18 years old, with 18 games to go this season, you can't just thrust him in. Milos Kerkez is available. And I said the metrics might have changed because I think we may not be looking at that £50 million market. But you know what? This club needs to start acting like a big boy in the market. We need to start paying what it takes to get this title over the line. And if Milos Kerkez is the one that we've earmarked for a couple of years now, when he was at AZ Alkmaar, we earmarked this player. If he's going to cost 45 to 50 million, you pay it now. We can't start acting like financial experts anymore or financial men and thinking, no, but the data is this, the data is that. The data has showed that Kerkez was on our list when he was at AZ Alkmaar. Okay, so you've given him the chance to come to the Premier League under a lesser team, Bournemouth, and you've seen him acclimatise to the Premier League for the last 2 seasons very well. He's still a top performer. I saw his performance against Man City at home. He was absolutely superb, got an assist as well. You pay what's needed now. Manchester United don't fuck around. Fergie never messed around. Wenger even didn't mess around. Mourinho didn't mess around. Let's start behaving like a fucking top club. Enough of this opportunity. These are what we're looking for. We don't want that from this new model, guys. We do not want sell to buy and no, we're all about stats and ethos and this and that young player. That market should be gone. Those are for the lesser teams like Brighton, Bournemouth, whoever at Nottingham Forest. They should be about that data model. Because they're allowed to sell them Caicedos for 100 million. We need to start behaving like a top club. If Kerkez is going to cost 50 million, you pay it.
Avi, you know what? For the first time, yeah, I can sit here and give you a round. I'm there giving you your props, Avi, yeah, and look what happens. Yeah, but honestly, on a serious note, Avi, I gotta give you, every single thing that you've said, I agree with it 100%. We have to go into the market and make a change because we simply can't sit on our laurels anymore. I've mentioned Robbo the amount of times I've mentioned him this season where I felt as though he's cost us. A legend of this football club, gave everything to this football club, and I'll always, he's been an unbelievable servant. But when your time's up, your sort of time's up. Like Kerkez said, leave the football before it leaves you. And he's at that stage. I know he's at this where in the next, very soon, he's going to be there. And I'm sorry, I don't want to see Robbo like that, where it might cost us a title, Avi. He's a legend of this football club. We simply can't do that to a legend and thrust him there and say, yeah, go and play
3 or 4 games a week, every single week, when you know that he's not capable of doing that right now. We have to go into the market. It doesn't take a rocket science, a brain surgeon to understand that this is a problem area. It's been a problem area for over 18 months. We should and have to go into the market. Look, that area for me, Avi, is there's no question about it. You have to go and buy. There's DM Avi, I can accept it. Gravenberch will play. If we need, we can drop Macken in there for a game and play Jones and Soboslai. But that left back position, because it's costing us goals, that's costing us points. That might cost us the title. I can't take any chances for the sake of going and spending on Milos Kerkez. If it is they want 50, we rate him at 40. For once, go and pay premium. Sometimes you have to pay premium. Go and pay the money, and you will see. It's not like somebody was just throwing money out of the hat. You mentioned, Avi, that we've been watching this player. We've been wanting this player years ago, so we know all the data on him. He's at Bournemouth. Richard Hughes knows everything about him. So what's the issue about it, man? Go into the market and go and spend. Because we haven't spent in the summer, man. We spent 13 million on Chiesa. We are always plus. Every so often, we're always plus. Go into the market and spend. Because if you don't spend now, I'm telling you, Avi, it's the only thing right now that bothers me are injuries to Van Dijk and Salah, or that left-hand side that's going to cost us the title.
Yeah, and look, I'm not saying that Kerkez is the be-all and end-all, but there's plenty of left-backs there that suit slot system that we can go and get in January. It's not a case of wait till summer. Even if it's Hato, give him that little taste. Don't play him for 18 games, but give Tsimikas a rest. Give Robertson a rest. All this narrative that Robertson, we should just play him one a game a week. It's not working because he's making mistakes constantly, right? He has lost that edge. He has lost that yard. He hasn't registered any assists in the league, I believe, this season. Those stats are damning. We do need a bit more aggression. We do need forward direct runners from that left back position. And Kerkez, he does fit that. He does fit that model. He does fit that model, and it's been clear that we've scoured him for a couple of years. Yeah, we knew that him going to Bournemouth, we're probably going to have to pay a premium. If 50 million is that premium in January, if it's a cost of 10 million in the summer of 40 million or 50 million, you pay the premium, because I guarantee you we win the title. That will solidify and confirm that we will win that title, because Kerkez is a bit more refined. He's a bit more polished. He's younger. He's hungrier. Right now Robertson hasn't got that. He has lost that edge. So we do need to address that situation in January. I just got a few super chats that Gina I need to read out. Rian, a regular of the chat, thank you so much. I have concerns about Slot continuously conceding the first goal. Can't keep a clean sheet. 3 wins and 7 in the league. He needs to fix it quickly, 100%. And we were talking about the blip. That this could be the blip. And another season, you can't afford these kind of blips, 3 and 7, because City, they'll get 90 plus. This season, I do believe 85 is the benchmark. So yeah, there is a bit of give and take there. Another super chat from Rayan. Thank you so much. Arsenal are a better team than us. They dominate and control games much more. They're better in and out of possession. We have more individual quality. I think early on, before the little blip, I would have disagreed with you. And I still kind of disagree. I thought we had a lot of control of the ball. I thought we were much more calmer than we were last season. We were seeing Slot sort of methods and his blueprint on this team. But the last 7 games, I think maybe because of the volume of games, the few injuries, looking a little bit leggy, it has changed. That Arsenal are a fantastic football club. Don't get me wrong; they're playing great football. Look, they're not title contenders for no reason. They've got injuries and they're getting by. I'm just hoping that they don't buy the player that they need. Benjamin Sesko is the talk of the town for them. I think it'd be a fantastic addition for them. I hope it doesn't happen in January, because if it does, it's a game changer altogether. And Mohamed Kibriya, one of our loyalists on the channel, thank you so much. Liverpool's LFC's title rivals are FSG. And I've always been a sympathizer. I've always been an apologist for FSG. But the buck stops now, Chine, because the seasons when Klopp was going toe-to-toe, right, the 2-3 seasons we went toe-to-toe with the City, I would have always said at the end of the season, you know what? It's City. They are a juggernaut. We have to accept it. 1 point here, 1 point there. You know what? We gave it all we could. And after 90 points, it really is down to luck. But had we given Klopp an extra player in January or gone and brought a player, I know we did Diaz in the 21-22 season, but just a few more players, just maybe 2-3 players that we needed during that era, we would have won 3 league titles. And here now, it's evident that Slot needs a little bit of assistance. And I don't care what he's saying. He's here to protect the owners and protect the men up at in the chain, right? He's going to protect them. He's not going to come out and say, "Yeah, look, I need to be back," but the situation is what the situation is. Not 6 months down the line. He needs to get his credits in, right? And that could be a 3-4 year thing before he starts saying, the situation is the model that I agreed to work with. It is what it is. I have a certain amount of money that I can spend, and I work within my means. That shouldn't be the case in January, should it, Gene? Because players are out there. I know they were looking at Kevrakilia, which didn't make sense at the time. Okay, that's an opportunity if it becomes available. But we need the glaring obvious positions are a centre back, a left back, and a 6. I still think centre back is an issue. I was saying to someone a few weeks ago, I'm not sure, and look, I rated Jarrell Quansah when he first broke through. I'm worried that his development and his promise won't be fulfilled at Liverpool because he needs a loan. He needs games week in, week out. You can't expect him in a total charge to come through when Konate is injured or Go is injured. You can't just thrust him in. He's 21 years old. We have to allow him making mistakes, but those mistakes need to be made at lesser teams, where he gets games week in, week out. We can't afford him to come into this first 11 and make mistakes. And that's why I believe we couldn't put him in against Nottingham Forest. We had to switch tactics. We had to change the way we played. And he brought on Konate. And, he changed it around, played with the 3 at times at the back. Gina, your thoughts on the centre-back situation? Do you think we do any business? Or are we going to go as good as we are? Are we going to go forward as we are?
Avi, we've been in the supporting Liverpool all our lives. We know our owners. You know our owners. You're probably the one that's backed them more than anybody. I don't know anybody probably that's backed FSG more than Avi has, especially on Twitter. I know sometimes he has a laugh, but he genuinely has. I take it to liking to him. But if Avi's coming out here and having a go at the owners saying that they need to spend, that's telling you. If Avi, you're saying that, what do you think? I think honestly, we really have to go and do business this January. I know there's a couple of weeks left. If you really want to make a difference, go and spend the money. When have you really spent the money? We haven't, man. Everybody knows. Other clubs take the piss out of us in terms of then these guys can't even attract players anymore. Meaning the big boy players I'm talking about. And it's sad to see because you look at Man City right now. Avi, they've had 5 months. They've won the title 4 years in a row. They've had a bad 5 months. And what are they doing? They're going and buying. You go and buy the players and sort it. Because why? Pep knows he might miss out on top 4. He might do. There's a possibility that he might miss out. So what do? They go and spend what they need to do to make it work. So they will do what it takes to try and get that top 4. Look, I know the whole 115 charges. We don't know what's going to happen with that. But right now, they're still making a play. They wanted to try and still make that top 4, and they will do everything they can. And they're backing their manager. What do? New manager comes in. Every new manager has money to spend. Bar hours. Record in terms of record income in terms of revenue. Yet we still sit here acting like paupers, man. Acting like there's no money. We can't do, there's money, but it has to make sense. Make what makes sense, bro? What do you want to make sense? The left back, centre back position needs sorting. It's the 6 needs sorting. We wait for the player, they said, Avi. We wait for the player. So you waited for Zubamendi, haven't you? You've waited for him, haven't you? You wanted him in the summer. You're not now, 4 months down the line, he was available. I know the deal's not complete, and I know me and you had a little thingy about it, but Zubamendi might be going to Arsenal. But I thought we wait for the player. Where?
China, you're on mute.
You can only go and buy the correct player. Where are you now? Where's the right one? The right one? It's all bullshit, Avi. They feed us this shit. The narrative will be spread that we're in for this player. It doesn't happen. We're sat there again thinking, you know what? We've been sold short. How many summers have we really sat here and said, Avi, you know what? We're ready. We've got every single team boxed up. I'm happy with everything. We'll always think, you know what? We're one short. We're one short. And I know as fans, generally, we always want more. Yeah. But honestly, Liverpool as a football club, as one of the biggest clubs in the world, we've been left short way too many times by the owners, the people at the top, Whoever you want to call them, Edwards, Hughes, I don't give a shit who they are. End of the day, the book lies with the owners, and they're the ones who sign off the checks.
Yeah, 100%. And this model that Hughes and Edwards and Ward and whoever's all the data team that have come in and they said the right player, that shouldn't be the case. Under Klopp, we always thought, yeah, Klopp wants that right player. He waited for Van Dijk. He was prepared to wait a year for Naby Keita. He wanted a specific type of player for a specific type of position. Under the new regime, there should be options, and that's what we want. We want options. If we can't get Zubimendi, there should be another ball controller. There should be another dictator in that sixth position. If we can't get a Kerkez, there should be another 2-3 down the pipeline in terms of a Hato in a Hincapi or another left back like a Dorgu I heard that we're looking at from Lecce, right? Or a Antonio Carreras from Benfica. If the centre back that we want is like a Lukeba type, there should be more 2-3 down the chain. That okay, if we can't get Lukeba, there's 2-3 others that we can go and pursue. That should be the model right now, but it's not. You know, and this is forget about the contracts. We've not even come to the contracts yet. We're talking about improving the team, because if we lose out on this league, I promise you, top red like me, top red bastards that we've been called, I promise you, we will come for the owners. Forget Slot. Give him what he needs. John Henry, Mike Gordon, Billy Hogan, you three more financial men, Tom Werner so much, I know he takes like a backseat, but you four men are culpable here if we do not get the league over the line. We're still scrambling over contracts, right? So who has the reign? Who is taking the reign? Who is taking control of the contract? Who is suggesting that, no, they only worth this much, they only worth that much? And now we're saying, now top accounts on Twitter are saying that, see, Salah's had that drop off. So why should we be paying him 450, 500? Salah's got us in this fucking position. The last 6 months, he's put us in this position to be top of the league. Van Dijk has put us in this position to be in the top of the league. Trent Alexander-Arnold for the first 5-6 months has put us in this position to be top of the league. So give them what they want. And we haven't even talked about contracts, Gene. We're talking about player improvements. We're talking about adding one, even just one, just to improve that team, just to give us a bit of a kick up the backside. Just to give
we turn into beggars, man. We turn into accountants. We turn into beggars. That's what we are. It's like we're begging, please sign a player. We're sat there, running the numbers. Oh, we sold this player. We did this. We did that. Oh, we signed a contract with another company. Oh, he's 20 million a year. Avi, that's another 20 million pounds that we've got to spend. It's all bullshit. You can see it all unravel in front of your eyes. We've supported this club for so long. We know what we're about. Oh, sustainability model bullshit, man. It's shite.
When they first took charge, there was a quote. Someone find me that quote. Find me that quote in the comments now. John Henry said something about don't overpromise, but over-deliver. Something like that. You haven't even fucking over-delivered either. I'm sorry, John. As much as I love the business model, as much as I respect what you've done for this football club off the pitch as well as on the pitch, you haven't even over-delivered. Delivering us Van Dijk was not over-delivering. Giving us Allison was not over-delivering. This sell to buy, we bought it for the first 10 years. We bought it. When you got in Damien Comoli, we thought, okay, they've spent 100 million on Jordan Henderson, Bellamy, Andy Carroll, Suarez, Downing, Charlie Adam, whatnot. Fair enough. Sebastian Cortez was included in that. Fair enough, right? We were fed the BS. We accepted the BS. You got in Jurgen Klopp, one of the most monumental decisions, biggest decisions that you've made for this football club in the last 30, 40 years, right? Post Kenny Dalglish, the first time that he quit. It was a great decision to bring him back, to bring Jurgen back to this football club. He got the football club, right? Shankly-esque, the way he was. Delivered the title, gave us the European Cup, but you still fed him fucking scraps too, right? So the model has aged. We're not living in the dinosaur years now. This sell to buy or buying players, youngsters for 15, 20 million and turning them to world stars like we did with Mane, with Bobby, with Coutinho, with Mohamed Salah. That doesn't work now. You buy the ready now. You buy the ready-made now. We're Liverpool Football Club, right? We should be shopping at the same store that City are, at the same store that Arsenal are, at the same store Chelsea are. But you still feed us this bullshit. You bring in these clever men with the right quotations and the right wording, like the Edwards, like the Julian Ward, like the Richard Hughes, and we get fed into it. You forced us into that conversation again. You know what? Let's trust the model. I don't want to trust the model anymore. After last summer, the model turned to shit. Because Zubimendi, yes, a player that I was buying for the last 2 years. Yes, we were linked with it. Then look out for the second option. There must have been a second and third option. I'm not saying that Edison might have been that second option, but there are other players with similarities and characteristics as a Zubimendi. Where are they?
Avi, but we were told there is any. This is my biggest issue. We were told there's none, and we will only go for the player that we want. Okay, I get. There was times where we went for Virgil van Dijk. We waited. Certain players you want to wait for. Fast forward 3 or 4 months, and Zubimendi's nowhere to be seen. Arsenal agreeing, trying to agree to the signature in for in the summer. Where are we in all of this? I thought we wait for the player. This is the biggest issue that I have. Or then what will happen is there's players that that we get priced out because they'll have a good 4 to 5 months and they're worth 60, 70 million now. Oh, but we can't go for them now because it's too expensive. This is my biggest problem right now. Look, Avi, Slot has done an unbelievable job. All we can ask is just for flipping, just give him the 1 or 2 players, at least give him one in January, whatever position he wants. Give him that one and let him go and bring us this title, because he has done an unbelievable job. He's taken us to the top, of world football in a sense, where we're top of the Premier League, we're top of the Champions League, we're gunning on every single front. You can tell there's certain players that don't fit his way of playing. It's plain sailing. You can see that. We're not going to go and do an overhaul of 8-9 players in the summer, are we? No. So you need to make certain, Diaz was supposed to be a summer signing. But what did we do? We went in early because we thought, you know what, there's a Spurs in there for him. Let's go for the kill. Let's bring him in. We did that. And he nearly, he had a really, really good first 4 or 5 months. We can do the same. Fast track it a little bit. The summer signings that if you're thinking about the left, and if it means paying the 10, 15 million pound extra, pay it and fast track it. So we've got the players in now. They'll have a 3 or 4 months with us. And if they need to play, we've got them. But I want quality, man. Go and buy us the quality that this manager needs, because we're on the cusp of something really, really big. And to sit here and cry, flipping like we've got no money all the time, it's just not. It doesn't work, man. And it's sad to see that we're sat here top of the table, going on every front, and we're crying, praying that these contracts get signed, praying that we can bring in a player or two, man. This is Liverpool Football Club, flipping one of the biggest institutions in the world. Every other, go around the world, they look at Liverpool Football Club and they just want to imagine being there. We're sat there, we're lucky enough to go every week. We see and, we love this club more than anything. But there's a time where you think, you know what? The owners have to back us now, because the fans and everybody else are all in. We're actually all in, Avi. The fans are all in. The managers are all in. The players are all in. We need the owners to be all in. And if the owners are dilly-dallying over a few million here and there, it doesn't work. Sell the club, mate, if you don't think you're big enough and strong enough to go up against the likes of City. City have proven it to you just now. 200 million, practically, they're going to spend in this January from what we've seen from the new deal about
they're not done yet either.
Avi, this is what you have to do. To get back to the top, this is what you have to do. Anybody telling you, this is not the way of the Liverpool way, or this bollocks. It's all bullshit. Football has changed. You move slightly with the times. I'm not saying sell your soul. I'm not saying sell the way we are as Liverpool fans. But there comes a time where you have to think, you know what? The owners have run its course. It was the same with the Parry back in the days, Avi, where he'd taken us to where he could. It's time to move on. Okay, Jaditson had promised us fucking Snoopy Doopy. I remember that interview. They were a load of shit. And to be fair to these owners, they came in when we were at rock bottom, Avi. They took us back to world football. They bought us for 300, 400 million, right? If they sell the club, they're going to sell it for 3 billion, 4 billion. Look, either you point the money and say, go for it, or you say, you know what, maybe it's time to sell. But I'm not going to have a go at the owners in a sense of what they've done for the club. But they're bringing it upon themselves for not backing the team. And the most important thing for us is Liverpool Football Club and us winning trophies. And if we miss out because of not buying a left back, I'm sorry, but your owners, you're going to get it from me.
I tell you, if we don't see this title through, and these are the risks that we're taking without buying anyone, right? Without improving the team, but if we win the league, right, the knives should still be out. the knives should still be out for the owners, without being without calling them disgusting words or being really abusive. But the knives should still come out if we win the league without improving our team in January, right? Now, if we don't win the league and we don't improve the squad in January, then I want every top LFC content creators channels as well. They should be questioning them. They should be questioning. I don't care whether they get free tickets or free tickets to the press conference. They should be questioning the ambition of the owners. That's what it is, the ambition. Because that would tell me the Arsenal model, that's what they want when Wenger was in charge. Top four. Top four for them is that's it. I know they bought this commodity for 250 million. That commodity is turned into 4 billion. I know they're sitting pretty at the top. Well, you know what you do? You improve on your asset. And if you don't improve on your asset finally, it will fail. Look at Manchester United. Look at Manchester United. They gave the Glazers the way they were operating, right? Now look at them now. They're not improving. They've made wrong decisions at the top after replacing Fergie, yes. Right? But Liverpool Football Club made the right decision in bringing in Slot after Klopp. It does seem he gets the football club, Arne. So you give him what he wants. If you don't give him what he wants, we'll be fighting for top four. And before you know it, a highly rated manager like Arne Slot will walk. He doesn't have any affiliation with Liverpool Football Club. He's been brought into the ideas, brought into the model. He's been brought in by the fans. But if you do not give him what he wants, he looks like a winner, Gene. He wants to win. He proved that at Feyenoord. He wants to win.
100%
If you don't
he
give
does.
him that within 3 years, he'll be off. He'll go to a Barcelona. He'll go to a Real Madrid. He'll find another top job. He's still young. You give him what he wants now, starting from this month. And I want to come into the contracts, because I don't want to waste too much time with the contracts as well, Gene. But we're 16th of January. Nothing's done. No Trent, no Van Dijk, no Salah. And in the summer, we'll be talking about Luis Diaz. You know, we'll be talking about Allison.
We were told about Ibu Konate is going to get it done 4 months ago. Oh, he's close. We're still sat here. His contract's not done. You know, this is just shambles. It's shambles in terms of the contracts, Avi. It's an absolute joke. You look at, I speak to, you know, obviously other fans, and they just laugh at us, thinking, how the hell can you not give the contracts to these players? Meaning contracts that when they look at it, they think, you know what, I deserve the contracts. These players deserve them contracts. I'm not saying 600 grand a week like people say. People are saying, oh, give them whatever they want. Liverpool fans are not saying give them whatever they want. I've heard Kyler say, oh, how you can't. We're not saying give them whatever they want. Give them what they do, what is deserved. And they're not. These players don't want to stay at the club. They will stay. Look, Trent's a slightly different case, but the two legends in terms of Salah and Van Dijk, give them what they will accept, man, and get them over the line before somebody comes in and it's gone, and that money's gone, and that player's gone, because you're going to be sad thinking we've just lost two of the best players in world football. We're just lucky, Avi, that these players are legends of this football club, and they both love the football club. They both want to win at Liverpool Football Club. Come on, man. How much more loyalty do you want from two of the best players in the world? How much more loyalty do you want?
No, it's true. I don't want to bring the comments up, but there's one particular in the chat, 7 Chaos Black. You can go and watch who you want, respectfully. You want to go and watch Talking Cop? I know Talking Cop very well. Great channel. You want to talk about certain Redmen TV contributors who started this fan channel? Respect to them. I've got no issue with them. My issue is if we go yet another year without the league title when we're so close to it, like we've been with Jurgen Klopp's teams, there should be question marks asked from every content creator out there, whether you've got 1 million subscribers or whether you've got 5 subscribers. Every channel should be on the same hymn sheet with the owners. I don't give a shit if you're getting free passes to the media press, this and that. This is Liverpool Football Club, right? We want to be winning season in, season out. So respectfully, if you want to watch another channel, by all means, go ahead. There's no hate from us. But do not say that these certain content creators have given us a platform. This platform was always going to be here with or without them. AFTV, if you really want to talk, were the originators of fan channels. Okay, so please, I'm saying one thing, you're meaning another. I'm saying that if we do not win the league and we've missed out again, right? by all means, everyone should be singing on the same hymn sheet. That's what I should be saying. Forget your fucking free passes in the media press. Forget your questions. Oh, I've got a question for Arne. Here you go. Here's a mic from fucking Vinny O'Connor. Shove that up your ass. Yeah, because we want to win the league now. I'm not turned on FSG myself, but I'm fucking disgusted at the situation that we're in. 5 months to go, we're still talking about the 3 best players at the football club, whether they're going to be here or not, whether they're the future of this football club or they're not. So please, respectfully, go and watch who you want. If all you're going to do is give us abuse, by all means, go to another.
Avi, look, I'm not ready to, in terms of the guy saying that, about thinking, look, I'll be honest with you, Redmen TV, Anfield Rap, I've done shows with them and I've been shows with them over the last few years. I've got a lot of respect for all of them. I know all of them personally. I see them at the games all the time. And even though the chat might disagree with what I'm going to say right now, I've actually got a lot of time for them lads because they've always showed me time and always been there for me whenever I've needed it for over the years. So I'm going to have to, I back them. Yes, I might disagree with them in terms of their stances at certain times. It's football. Will always have differences in opinions. If it's football owners, yes, no, I get it. There's going to be differences. But there comes a time in a football club, Avi, and I agree with you. There comes a time in a football club where you think, you know what? Something has to give. But look, Avi, right now, we're top of the table. We have to accept that and go with it. I'm not going to sit here and rant and rave. Why should I rant and rave when we're top of the table, right? But if we come here and we miss out again because of one player, Avi, that we think, you know what? Let's say we're sat here in May. Robbo makes 3 or 4 more mistakes, and we've seen his 4 goals, his mistakes have cost us goals. I'm going to go ballistic on the owners. Because you're going to go ballistic. I'm going to go ballistic because we have been calling them out for months saying, go buy a left back, go buy a left-sided centre back, go and do this. And if you don't do it, when everybody in world football knows that this is an issue, then you have to question the owners and the people at the top. Who else do you want to question? You have to question these people. And say, look, why didn't you do it? We could have gone and won a title. You know how difficult it is. We're in prime position to go and win it. 4 with the game in hand. Bro, this doesn't happen every year that you're ahead. We're ahead. So give him what he wants to go on the next sort of level. That is my issue. That's when you have to start calling the ownership out and say, you know what? It's on them. They had to help us then, and they haven't. In the past, Avi, we've given them shit. They've, at times, but we accepted it. Klopp was there, TK, fine. He sugarcoated a lot of it. Let's face it, because of Klopp, most of the fan base stayed quiet. Most of us did. We thought, you know what? Klopp's saying it. We love Klopp. We stayed quiet. Now, Avi, it's a different kettle of fish. Klopp's gone. Our affiliation to Klopp isn't there. Slot's a new guy. Slot might even turn on the owners himself in 18 months' time, thinking, you know what? I could have won 2 titles. I didn't because of you lot. Then what are you going to do? Blame Slot. Now you're blaming now we're blaming Klopp for the last 3 years. Or the contracts are on Klopp now. The contracts are on something else now. Or they're not on Richard Hughes. They're on Jurgen Klopp now because he was in control. It's easy to start pointing the fingers at somebody that's left the football club. But let's not point the fingers at the owners who are the ones who employed, who made these decisions, who let Klopp have this. It's on them.
Yeah. And I also want to say, we're not losing sight, by the way. And everyone in the comments, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to the channel. We are not losing sight of where we are. We are on top of the league. We're on top of the Champions League table, where we should turn over Spurs in the League Cup semi-final and reach another final of that competition. We've advanced to the FA Cup. We've got Plymouth at home. I'm not losing sight of where we are, but I'm going to lose sight of where we might end up in May. This promising start at this football club, the promising start that we've made, we've got to carry that on. And even one player, we know you can't tell me that Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards, and everyone are not seeing the holes in our team right now.
Avi, forget that.
As great as we are, we have holes in that team. Left back.
Tell me what Richard Hughes does. I want you to give me an answer. What does he do? What has he done? I get told somebody else is in Napoli to talk about somebody else. Barry Hunter. Edwards is dealing with the outgoings. So what the fuck is this guy doing? With respect, what is he doing? We've bought him in to do nothing. The contracts are still there. No, nothing's happened. You know what? Look, I'm not blaming him. for the past. But do something, man. And people, oh, you know what? He hasn't got the money to go and spend to buy players. I'm sorry, but Zubimendi didn't get over the line. There was £50 million there. You didn't spend it. There's 50 million quid there, isn't there? Go and spend it. We were going to pay the release clause of Zubimendi one way. Go and spend it now. And this is what he's sat there doing fuck all. With respect, honestly, look, when I see our best players without their contracts, no sign of any sort of player coming in, opportunistic bullshit, hearing all this opportunistic shit, yeah, all the time, it makes my blood boil. But we're in a title charge, Avi. I don't want to, sound like a dickhead, yeah, when I'm flipping, having a go at the owners, this is because we're top of the table, man. We should be supporting Subplot. We should be supporting the players and, saying, give it everything you got. We should be happy right now that we might win a title. We're going for it. Yeah, every week we're opening to Twitter, new news, Real Madrid, this, that. What for? Salah's got a flipping Al Hilal t-shirt on. Turkey sending a flipping photos of Salah in that. Come on, yaar. There's a limit to this.
On mute.
Or either get him signed or fuck off, man.
There's a super chat from Ash saying so-called data experts couldn't spot Robbo decline. It's sad we have seen Robbo go off a cliff and his legendary reputation tarnished. Sign at LB now. Just on the last bit, his reputation won't be tarnished. He'll always be a legend for this football club for what he's done. But there comes a time where you need to see it's evident that he's lost that yard. He's lost that positioning sense. He's losing battles. He's losing the one-on-ones. Madueke, I saw him giving the runaround at Anfield earlier this season for Chelsea. We've seen it with Saka at Emirates. The recruitment team need to see that. They should have seen this a year ago. We should have addressed that position a year ago. We didn't. Okay, we kind of got away with it last season, but this season we're seeing it. And yes, we're top of the league. And yes, we've got a fantastic team, but you've got to spice it up now. You've got to spruce it up now. You've got to get the right players, and players are there available. Money talks in this world, right? Money talks. It's time
I've got a question for you, yeah, and that is, look, I've been the one that's been going to town on Trent a little bit, and the other night I was just thinking to myself, if I'm Trent, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to sign this contract until Salah and Van Dijk sign. I want to see that this club, once these two players signed, then I might sign it. Then I want to see some sort of ambition in terms of the owners where they go and solve these problem positions. Then I'll think about it. Otherwise, is Trent's going to sit there thinking, on the top of world football, you're still not making signings. Then on top of it, you're not even signing the two best players in the world we actually have right now. What the hell am I going to do, sat here? I actually tried to see it from his perspective. I know he's a Scouser, and I get it. And I want him to stay, and I gave him a load of shit.
But that means nothing. I'm sorry, but when people say...
But generally speaking...
I want to take away that little narrative, though. He's a Scouser. He should get the club more than any of us fans or Wolves or tourist fans should do. That's not the case. He's an ambitious man. He might want to try out a different culture, a different lifestyle, a different country. You can't begrudge him for that, right? Okay, we didn't tie him down. We won't get a fee for him. So what? So fucking what if we don't get a fee for him? He's given us everything. He's been here since 11-12. He is allowed to live a life as well away from football. He is allowed to try himself out in a different country, a different city, away from Liverpool. Doesn't mean that he's not a Scouse anymore. Doesn't mean that he's not loyal anymore. Why can't he experience that? I lived in London the best part of 30 plus years. I was allowed to leave. I was allowed to leave my parents for a better lifestyle or a better culture or a better city or a job opportunity or a business opportunity. I am allowed that much. The same applies to Trent Alexander-Arnold. We shouldn't have... The problem is, Gene, us fans have too much of this affiliation with players. Don't have an affiliation with the football club. Because when Fernando Torres left, I was done with player love.
I know. That was for me with the hardest one.
Supporting these FC25 players, this and that, your little ultimate cards. Fuck off. I was all about the football club. I was always about the football club.
Fernando was the one.
That. Kenny Dalglish, Fagan, Bob Paisley before him said, do not ever be affiliated with players. Love the football club. Love the purity of what is the football club. That's it, Liverpool. You love that. You love the city. Do not fall in love with players, whether they're local, abroad, overseas, or whatnot. Do not fall in love with football players. You do not owe us any loyalty. That's how I see the situation with Trent.
Look, with Trent. It was just like I said to you. Look, I've maintained that I think he's going to leave the club, and that's maintained that for a long time. But I just think that I was just thinking about it the other day, thinking if I was Trent, what would I do? If you were Trent, what would you do? You know, you're the top of world football. Imagine in the summer, Avi, you miss out again because of not. If we went toe to toe, it's Man City, we lose the title by a point. Okay, I can accept that and say, you know what, guys, we lost the title. We lost by 1 point. It happens. It was a title race. We lost. This one is a different kettle of fish. This one, we might lose it because of ourselves. Self-sabotage, because we didn't, we saw the problems, we didn't address them. That's on yourselves if you don't win the title now. It's on Liverpool for losing. If we were to lose the title now, that's on them. But honestly, look, I don't want to. I didn't
Trent
really
might
want to
be
make
thinking,
this.
Trent might be thinking, if Van Dijk and Salah go, do I really want to be here for a new rebuild? Waiting for players to come in and waiting 2-3 years to develop them.
When you've
Like
seen one
we did
player
with
coming.
Mane, Bobby, and Salah,
Yeah.
like we did with them in their first. Do I want to do that? Or do I want to go to a ready-made project, a new country, and play with Bellingham, my best mate, play with Vinicius, play with Rodrigo, play with Mbappe, play with Camavinga, play with Tchouaméni, play with Eder Militao, play with Felix Mendy, like on the left-hand side. Like, you know what I mean? Think about it. Think about it as a football club. What would you want to do? I would want to go to Madrid. As much as I love Liverpool, as much as I was a scouser and born and bred Liverpool, I would want to go there because it's a ready-made project. I can lift Copa del Rey season in, season out. I can win the La Liga season in, season out. I could probably lift the European Cup every 2 seasons. That's his legacy done.
And to be fair, you can't in that way. I don't begrudge him. I'm not gonna lie to you. What you've just, I don't begrudge him in a sense of, if the owners, and he's seen how tight the owners have been over the last 5 or 6 years, regardless of our success. He knows he could have, deep down, he's probably thinking, I should be sat here with a couple of champions, maybe one extra Champions League and a league title. You should have been at least sat with that, but I'm not sat with it. If these two go, one of them goes, and I'm part of this rebuild, where the best players have gone, then it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense to me. And look, I know there's people on here that will call Trent a traitor and all of that. And I went to town on Trent for even thinking about leaving for Liverpool, because he orders. My issue with Trent more than anything is he orders to get at least a fee out the club, a club that you've been at for all these many years. At least, give us something back where, you know what, we can go and invest that money. But it is what it is, man.
Do you know, even if we recruit 30-40 million, do you trust the club to spend it now?
This is the thing.
That's how Dukhi I
Look,
got.
they have to spend.
As
I don't
much
think
as I respect that. Listen, I've respected the model for far too long. Yeah, and maybe it's the frustration that we're in a league title race in Arne Slott's first debut season. None of us predicted that. We thought top 4 and a cup would be a brilliant season, a near perfect season if we got third because of Arsenal and City. That narrative has changed now, and Slott's put us in that position. So give Slott what he wants, because I'm sure he's going to get questioned again. Is there going to be any business on the final day? Vinny O'Connor with his umbrella, 11 p.m. at night at Anfield, he's going to say, "I've not seen no black Beetle Mercedes come through yet." That's what's going to happen. It's going to be all fucking false narratives. And you know what? I wouldn't put it past this club to announce all 3 extensions either on the last day of the transfer window. And we'll be on here.
And you know the crazy thing was,
complete 360, a complete gumgia.
No
We'll do a U-turn. We'll do a U-turn and say, finally we've got some. Finally, this club acted the way it should be, without mentioning an additional player. That's how we will be. We thought, yes, the mood is lined up again. That's how they fucking brainwash us. It's all mindfuck. It's a mindfuck.
I mean, you're on form today, man. Because I have to say, today I've seen a completely different side to you, man. I don't know what happened to you. I think January's got to you, man.
You know,
Mexico sorted you out.
I don't need no clicks or views, or I don't need any followers. I'm speaking from the heart because it's frustrating, Gene. It's almost.
Yeah, I've been frustrated for years. I've been telling you, and you've been bloody, backing up your cha-cha all the time,
man.
I
never knew we would be in this position. I never knew.
I know.
I want to move on. Gina, General Consul, you mentioned not getting game time. What does the future hold for him, in your opinion, in the summer? And Harvey Elliott, a lot of people rate him. I've said last season I was very worried about Harvey Elliott going into the future of this football team. And people say, oh, He's a squad player. He's happy to be a squad player. But squad players get game time. He's not even getting that.
Yeah.
I'm not being bad, but he's not even getting that. So you can't say he's a squad player because he's not even getting game time. Where do you sit on Harvey Elliott in the summer, Darwin Nunez, and Jarell Quansah in the summer? Those three players.
Darwin Nunez first. I'd get rid of him in Jan. Right? I'll be honest with you. I'd get rid and I'd bring in a replacement. I'd go all out. At the time, obviously, with Kravakili, I thought, you know what, we'll get rid of him and Doak and bring him in. We didn't obviously do that, but we should. He is not good enough. He hasn't been good enough for a long time in my eyes, and I've wanted him out for a while. But he's a Liverpool player. We gave him a chance. Harvey Elliott, Avi, is a different case. I've loved Harvey Elliott. I've loved him since the way he came to the club, the way he was. Even he coming back after that bad injury, I felt as though no, this kid's got it in him. He can play that role. Slots mentioned that he wants to play in the 10. I think that's probably is his best position. But do we have when Szoboszlai doesn't play, we lose so much intensity. We lose so much in terms of the press that Szoboszlai, for me, you simply can't take him out of the team. And I question if Harvey Elliott now over the last few weeks more that if Harvey Elliott has a future at this football club, because I'm beginning to think that I don't think he's got a future here, And it's weird because I thought he'd be probably one that would do well under Slot, especially in pre-season. But Quansah was another one, Avi. We both thought, you know what, the way he was speaking, that he's got a bright future here. He looks like he's gone down from first choice with first choice partnership to fourth choice. And he looks like a player that definitely needs a loan. 100%, he needs a loan. But do you want him to go out on loan if we're not going to sign the players? You've got to go bring in the players, better players than Quansah, for Quansah to go out on loan for another year and see how well he does. But Harvey hurts, Harvey, because I really liked him. I wanted him to succeed at Liverpool. He loves the football club. And there's some players you haven't fit, I've got that thing for. I always had that thing for him. I get, people mention Harvey has got no legs. Harvey's got the legs. He doesn't have the pace. He's got the legs, meaning, he can play for 90 minutes, man. And he'll run for 90 minutes. He just doesn't have the pace that Szoboszlai possesses, especially now. Szoboszlai is an elite athlete. You're talking about one of the greatest players I've ever seen in terms of the press. He's phenomenal. His running is unbelievable. He's up and down. He's off the ball. He's on a different level from what I've seen. And the way Slot plays, I can't see anybody coming in and not playing that way. With the players that we've got. Maybe if he was to bring in a different type of 9, he might slightly change it because but I can't. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But there's so many positions, Avi. You look at this Liverpool side right now. Question marks, man. Question marks all over the shop. We've got a question mark up top in terms of a forward. You look at Diaz, 2 years left on his contract. You're a big fan of him. There's a question of him in the summer. Do you sell? He's 28. Is it 29 now? He must have, I think he had his birthday. Yeah, 28. There's a question on him. He's on, really low wages. He's going to want top dollar from us. Or, is it time to cash in? Then there's the Darwin Nunez, get rid. There's Diego Jota, who's always injury prone. There's Chiesa, who's injury prone. Salah, final year of his contract, 32. Avi, it's not as plain sailing as it was, is it? There's a lot. This is what I was trying to say to you. There's a lot still that needs to be done. I get, look, we're flying high. I don't want to sound, negative, but there's a question mark on, then you've got Joe Gomez. Imagine Quansah goes out on loan. Joe Gomez says, I want to leave the Liverpool Football Club in the summer. You know it happened this summer. That's just gone.
I think we should be looking at 2 centre-backs regardless in the summer.
I think
you give Jarell Quansah.
Then you want a left back. Then you want 2 centre-backs. Then you want a number 6.
We need a mini rebuild in the summer. We need a mini rebuild. There's question marks over Chiesa, Jota, Diaz, Nunez. That's 4. That's 4 of your forwards. Gakpo safe. Salah. Okay, Salah. That's 5. So Salah, Nunez, Chiesa, Diaz, and Jota. 5. I think 2 will stay out of that 5. Right? Salah, say, and then maybe Diaz. I think Jota did. Money talks. If we're bringing in these men like the Hughes, like the Edwards, like the Julian Wards, they're going to want to make an impression. And I think they're ready to make this impression in the summer. They're not ready to do it now in January, but they're ready to make an impression in the summer. Then you're looking at 2-3 centre-backs. You're looking at two centre backs, one that can do the hybrid left back, left centre back role, and then another midfielder. Morton will be gone. Elliott will be gone. That leaves you too short.
So you're expecting 3 contracts and about 7 signings in the next 6 months. No, not 3, 5 contracts and 6, 7 signings. Damak Pireya Tara. You're off your rocker, mate.
That's what we need to do.
You're off your rocker.
But factually, that's what we need to do. Factually, that's what we need to do. You're sorting out 3 contracts now.
5 contracts.
Simicast, Robbo might be gone.
Robbo's got 1 year.
You're looking at a mini rebuild. You are looking at a mini rebuild in the summer. I'm telling you now. Mark my words. And remember I said to you, and you lot laughed at me, Allison will be leaving this football club in the summer.
Look, I can look, Avi. I said
that's my exclusive here, by the way. Everyone that was asking for exclusive, Allison will not be a Liverpool player beyond the next summer. We got a super chat. Hold on, Tina. We got a super chat from Karan Babla. Does FSG sign any passionate signs? Does FSG show any signs? What does FSG signs any passionate signs that they are always cheap money-minded signings? They are telling the club, journey club for players, no final destination. I don't know what to make of that.
Look, as of right now, it has been the final destination for some of the best players in the world. Mane.
Jay, I am telling you now, Allison Becker will not be a Liverpool player beyond this summer. Clip it, chip it if you want. Do whatever you want.
I like that one.
I'm telling you now, he's not going to be here beyond the summer.
Oh, you know what? I questioned the comments. Let's get them involved, Ravi. If you got Saudi to come in, obviously we've got Mama coming in the summer. Would you sell Allison for 50 million in the summer?
I would sell him for 40 million.
An offer came in. If an offer came in from Saudi, would you sell Allison for 50 million quid in the summer?
I'd sell him for 40.
And by the way, this is a question for the comments, by the way, so you can say yes or no.
So Wally, Jay, Cathal, James, if he keeps up this form 100%. So James said he would sell him. He's been very bad since he's come back. Very bad. If Keller was
bad.
If Keller was seeing the goal that Allison was, people would be coming out in their knives. These are a name for you, Gina. Can you please translate?
Al-Makki. Khulzafat Al-Makki.
Al-Makki.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's saying sell.
Jobo. Ali, good old Ali. When Ali says sell, that means sell. James Doherty. Sell, yeah. I agree with my bro Avi.
One player.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Cathal. He is one. Thank God Willie's got one that I said, bloody hell. He might go, to be fair. His injury record isn't getting better from Kieran. Sironi goes sell. If you got one that says no, thankfully. No, I'd keep Allison.
I'm undecided. He's been outstanding for us and saved us so many times. He's going to be 32 in October, guys. 50 million is a lot of money for a goalkeeper at 32. Just a reminder to everyone. Always look at. I'm not saying use me as gospel, but the data team look at age, profile, money, mileage, games played. He gets injured every season too. 50 million is a lot of money, guys. Let's think a little bit. 50 million for Allison at 32, you'd sell him. 100% you'd sell him. Elliott would be go. I think if we can get 25 million for Elliott, chop their hands off.
How much?
25. I think 25 million for Elliott.
Wait. You'd sell Elliott for 25 million.
How much do you think you're going to get for him, Butcher? You think you're going to get 40 for him?
We're selling Ben Doak for 25 million. You're talking about.
You think you're going to get Elliott for 35, 40 million?
Minimum 40 million.
This guy you're fucking stupid. This is why you're the stupid one.
Elliott's worth 25 million.
This is why you should never be. You should never be on the left-hand side. I should always be on the left-hand side as top host. You're an absolute dazzler. 14 million for Harvey Elliott. You've gone off your head.
Guys, if anybody in the comments agrees with Avi, that Elliott is hard to replace him with Devlin, there's no way. Elliott only leaves. Wow, 25. He goes 25. Elliott is worth minimum.
Okay,
you have 25 million. Look, Fabio Carvalho went for 28 million. We've got players going
25 million this season. I'm talking about. I'm talking about this season. What's he worth 25 million this season?
He's worth at least 40 million quid in this market. 35, 40 million. You fucking sell it for 25.
Based on this season, how is he based on 40 million this season?
Avi, just because he hasn't been playing all the time doesn't mean that he's worth 25 million. Yar, we're selling players that haven't even played for our club for 25 million. Yeah, and this guy wants to. Dork hasn't played for us.
I will be shocked, Gina. I'll be shocked if we get anything near 30 million for Elliott.
This guy's off his rocker, man. Yeah, English tax, man. Come on, Avi, man. You're flipping. Tomorrow you're gonna say bloody get rid of Trent for 5 million.
English tax under Conservatives, not under fucking Keir Starmer's Labour. Fuck English.
Yeah, I forget. I'm talking football, man.
No,
25 million.
I'm telling you, we will not get a lot of money for Elliott.
Okay, Chaldi, if you say so.
James, talk about this season, isn't it, James? Clubs are not going to be looking at his season from previous. They're going to be looking at the now, the near and now. Please, let's talk about sense here.
You know, every single person. I think you've got one person that's with you, and that was Cathal. Wait, Avi, look at that. These are players never played for us.
Let's see.
Cuss, mate.
Honestly, 40 million, I'll chop my own head off on the show. Honestly, I will.
No, 40 million, I'm chopping your head off, mate. Don't you worry. If you go to 40, I'm chopping your head off.
There's been a lot of talk, guys. We're going to wrap up. Brentford prediction. Give me your prediction, Brentford.
Brentford prediction, Avi. I think it's going to
United
be a
1-1, by the way.
game.
Ahmed Diallo just scored.
3-2.
3-2 Liverpool? I'm going with a... I'm going with a 2-0 Liverpool.
Sorry?
2-0.
2-0. Scorers.
Jota.
Yep.
And Mohamed Salah.
Mohamed Salah. Oh, they're probably good.
You're on mute.
I don't know what the hell's wrong. She comes on. I'm going for a late winner. 3-2. I'm going for a late winner. I said 3-2 and winner.
I do not want it to be a late winner, man. I don't want it to
be.
3-2. A lot of 3-1s coming in. A lot of 3-1s.
Yeah, I get it. I think it'll be 3. I think it's going to be Diallo 2-1. They're baskets. I knew they were going to score the gits. Anyway, forget them scum. They're shit.
Okay. Tyler Dibling, though, watch out for him. I think he could be the Elliott replacement in the summer.
Oh, with respect, Avi, I do that straight away.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt, I do that straight away.
Top player, and I think he's performed very well today as well for Southampton in the first 45 minutes. Guys, this has been a chip and cheen. It was meant to be a quick 45 hour. We've done hour and 12. Make sure you like and subscribe. I don't believe there'll be any shows tomorrow. Might be an emergency stream from Asim or Gene, but I doubt for Saturday. We've got the game. I think they're doing a post-match from the car, maybe, Gene and Asim. And then Sunday, obviously, we've got Red Fellas, where the three of us will be on the channel. Yeah, Gina, let's just hope we get some kind of good news contract-wise, maybe a signing or two. And that's it. Over and out, guys. This has been Born Red. Like and subscribe on your way out. Thank you so much.
Take care, everybody.